Amar'e Stoudemire, the inspiring story of one of basketball's most dominant. Chapter 2, High School Career. Amar'e Stoudemire initially enrolled at Lake Wales High School within the locality of his hometown. He was a young basketball prodigy on the rise, and he was only going to get better with proper coaching and an organized system that could hone his talents. However, Amar'e could not even suit up for his team as a freshman due to academic deficiencies. Amar'e Stoudemire was declared academically ineligible to play with his high school team because of the poor academic records resulting from all the domestic and family problems he had back then. He never had a chance to focus on his studies because he seldom had a proper bed to sleep on and nutritious meals to take in. Amar'e Stoudemire would later on transfer to Mount Zion Christian Academy located in Durham, North Carolina. Mount Zion was always one of the hotbeds when it came to developing basketball talents in the prep division. Some of the more notable products of the school were Tracy McGrady, who recently moved on to play in the NBA straight out of high school just a while before Amar'e transferred. Later on, future NBA players such as Jarrett Jack, Marquis Daniels, and Brando Rush would also benefit from the training they got from Mount Zion. Amar'e was hoping to follow the footsteps of McGrady to become good enough to jump in the NBA straight out of the preparatory ranks. However, it would take some time before Amar'e would have a chance to suit up and dominate for Mount Zion. He may have been the team's best player as a sophomore after averaging 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 blocks that season, but his years in Mount Zion were numbered. Stoudemire would transfer to another school again before he was even a junior. His coach would form a Christian school to which Amar'e and several other teammates enrolled. However, the school would not pan out, and Stoudemire was left as an out-of-school youth. Instead of going back to Mount Zion, Amar'e Stoudemire would go back to home state of Florida to live with his AAU coach, Travis King. Stoudemire would try to make up for his academic deficiencies by attending summer classes back in Orlando so that he could go back to Mount Zion as a better student. The whole summer, aside from attending classes, Amar'e was also playing for King's Fast Break USA AAU squad. As soon as summer was over, he immediately went back to Mount Zion for his junior year. After just a few months of attending classes in Mount Zion Christian Academy, Amar'e Stoudemire would once again transfer to another school. This time, the young teen would go back to Florida to enroll in Orlando's West Orange High School. However, he was again not eligible to play basketball that season, considering that his Mount Zion transcripts ruled him academically deficient again. But this was not without Stoudemire's objection. He believed that his records were altered for transferring twice from the same school. As Amar'e Stoudemire lived in Orlando, he would move out of Travis King's household because of irreconcilable issues between the two. He and his brother Marwan would move in with a local minister who was shortly arrested due to petty charges. Left with no home, once again, Stoudemire had to move to live with another father figure in the form of Mark Little. Little would help guide the young Amar'e Stoudemire to high school greatness, especially after the teenager dominated the Nike camp. During the 2001 Nike Summer Camp that season, Amar'e Stoudemire was getting the attention of scouts and coaches alike as he dominated every other big man put before him. He used his natural quickness to get around and outmaneuver the slower centers while also occasionally finishing above them. One of the highlights of the camp was when Stoudemire dunked over 7-footer Tyson Chandler, who would soon become a decent NBA center. It was then and there when the scout began to rank him as the top player in the nation, even as he barely played organized basketball due to all the transferring he had to do. For senior year, Amar'e Stoudemire enrolled at Cypress Creek High School in a far-flung part of Orlando. However, nobody could guess why Stoudemire enrolled in that school. Cypress Creek was never known for its basketball products. Almost none of its graduates would play college basketball, as the school was never competitive in the sport. Nevertheless, Amar'e was the sole reason why Cypress Creek was even winning games that season. He was attracting massive crowds of people that were waiting for him to do something spectacular and too eager to watch what the top high school prospect in the country would do every time he had the ball in his hands. In his senior year, which was the second year he had a chance to play basketball throughout his high school career, Amar'e Stoudemire averaged 29.1 points, nearly 16 rebounds, and more than 6 blocks. Needless to say, despite Cypress Creek's meager win-loss record, Stoudemire was the best baller in the state after getting the award of Florida's Mr. Basketball. After the season, then 19-year-old Amar'e Stoudemire participated in the 2002 McDonald's All-American Game, wherein he had a chance to play with the best high school prospects in the country. Among such players were Carmelo Anthony, who would find his way to the NBA a year later. Amar'e dominated the All-American Game and was later named to the All-USA Basketball First Team. Among all the other high school recruits that season, Stoudemire was on the top of the list. During his senior season, Amar'e Stoudemire was listening to offers from several colleges that ranked on the top of the list in terms of basketball programs. One of the programs he was attracted to was John Calipari's University of Memphis. Stoudemire had initially declared that he would join Memphis for college the following season. However, he would decommit to the program, considering all he wanted to do at that point was to reach his NBA dreams as quickly as possible, to be able to provide for his family in the only way he could. Pretty soon after, Amar'e Stoudemire would declare for the NBA draft as a high school prospect.